So today, how to move from overwhelm to clarity by listening inwards. And this isn't about managing overwhelm at all. In fact, that's something that I really do encourage you to put down. Just maybe while you just listen to this, but beyond if you possibly can, because we can't do that. I feel a little bit like emotional saying that, but you can't manage overwhelm. And I suspect you've begun to realize that. You've begun to realize that you can't manage it. That's why you're watching this. I hope. I hope that's a step you've taken in that direction. And why would we ever want to manage a sensation in the body? Well, because of confusion, really. Because in any moment when we're trying to control an emotion in our body, because via doing things out there, that's because we think out there can solve in here, and it can't. And so what I'm guiding you towards today is to listen to what's being said to you by your body, by your emotions, instead of overriding them, because we've been doing that, haven't we, for forever. I'm gonna say for my forever, for 54 years, probably, maybe not quite. I don't think babies suppress their emotions, do they? They give it to us full force, and that's okay. That's exactly what they're supposed to do, bless them. But somewhere along the line, we've learned to squash them down, to override them, to get rid of them. And it's wearing us out. It really is. That there's a cost to this. There's a cost to getting busier and busier and busier in the outside world in order to not feel what we're feeling. I know the cost myself. It was burnout. I don't even know what feeling I was trying to get to, what emotion I was trying to suppress. But my God, did I try hard at it. I worked really hard at trying not to feel those things, to avoid them. That's why I often say busyness was my drug of choice. I kept trying to feel differently by being just so busy. I mean, eye-wateringly busy, really. I look back now and I just think I have no idea. I have no idea how I sustained, for even the amount of time that I did sustain, the ridiculousness of my life. It just was ridiculous, really. I lost a lot because of that. Well, don't often cry about it much anymore, but sometimes it comes up. It's okay. I didn't lose a year of my life, but I didn't function like a human being can function for an entire, more than a year. I have carried the burden of the said burnout. Apologies for the tissue noise. I've carried the consequences in terms of chronic fatigue and health issues. I think I'm still dealing with. I'm just about to start some work with a nutritional therapist to try and get a little bit more information, get to the bottom of why I still don't feel myself, really. I'm getting there, but it's just insane, the cost of that, the cost of constantly overriding your system. For me, for so many people, that burnout is just rife now, absolutely rife. And it's because we're not listening in here. And I mean, like in here, I mean in the chest, in the heart, in the body, in your body, there is wisdom. In your head, there is less so. And we've been told to see it the other way around, haven't we? We've been told that the brain, the thinking, that's the clever place, and just to ignore the body, really. But there's something different available when we begin to listen inwards. When we connect to the sensations in our body. And we keep coming back to that. And for me, the way, that I go on and on about like a stuck record, the way to do that is to pause. It's to breathe. It's to come into the body, a place where perhaps we've not spent much time in our lives. To recognize that there is guidance in the middle of that pressure. And it feels, overwhelm is what we're exploring particularly today, but it feels like pressure, physically pressure in the body. But that is guidance. It's guidance. It's letting us know. Too much thinking. That's all it's ever letting us know, by the way. Too much thinking. Sit with your too much thinking. Be present to it. Feel it in the body. Feel it in the chest. That for me, I know many people, my clients and people I speak to about overwhelmed. That's where it is. That's where that feeling is. And, I think it's easy to, we can do meditations, which, I do, and we can do all sorts of things to try and connect ourselves to that inner knowing, to connect ourselves to listen inwards. And then we think we've done it. Oh, I've done that for the day. I remember that when I used to meditate. I still do meditate actually in the mornings, but I used to think I was done then for the day. And then I would never stop. Now I've done my meditation and now I'm going to plow ahead like an absolute lunatic and just do more and more and more stuff. But what if that was something that we did regularly? I mean, definitely when we're feeling emotionally out of sorts, start there. But what about if we paused throughout the day? That it wasn't just something that we did in the morning or in the evening, or I like a yoga nidra in the afternoon when I need a nap, or like a mini nap. What if it was hourly, half hourly, that we reconnected to ourselves and didn't just carry on with the mind rolling and rolling and rolling, going to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing? It feels to me like we would access more clarity, more creativity, wisdom, ease if we did that. If we just were just with ourselves a little bit more. It's not a luxury, this. It can't be a luxury, because whenever we're disconnected, we will be just like a ball in a pinball thing. What are they called? Pinball machine. We'll be just bouncing about, being flicked and pronged, pinged. Flicked and pronged and pinged, apparently. Anyway, bounced around in the pinball machine. I don't think we can afford to have that be a luxury. This is about reclaiming your voice and your energy, reclaiming your connection to yourself, pausing enough throughout the day to see where you're at, because where you're at physically is letting you know about your mind. If you're feeling ropey here in the body, that is because your mind is not in a helpful place. Don't carry on from there, is my thoughts on that. Stay put and pause and breathe. And that is how you move from overwhelm to clarity, by listening inwards, by knowing that always your emotional state is a guidance as to your state of mind, and moving forward, or probably not, from there, pausing, taking a breath, allowing the emotion to move through, allowing the thought to move through, and then it's time to act. And I tell you what, the inner knowing guidance that comes from that place is, well, it's clarity, and that's what we want, don't we? So I hope that's been helpful. I hope that's something that you can incorporate into your life, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed right now. Take care, lots of love, and thank you so much for tuning in.